Who am I? I ask my father this, and he tells me to imagine. We are Cuban American, he tells me. An impossible subject, I think. How can I be Cuban when I don't even know what my family there looks like? How can I be Cuban when I don't speak that tongue? Who am I? A collection of names, dates, and movements? Perhaps. My father, Juan, was born in Cuba in 1954. His mother, Benita, was from central Cuba and of modest means, while his father, Ignacio, was a Mexican man who was well off. During the height of the Cuban Revolution, my grandfather was able to bring both my father and grandmother to Mexico City. They would spend the next 10 years there until my grandparents divorced in 1969 and the Mexican government denied her residency renewal. That same year, both my father and grandmother moved to Miami with tourist visas, and eventually they qualified for Cuban refugee status. Both moved west to Los Angeles in 1971, not really knowing that such a move separated them from the growing network of Cuban exiles in Florida. In the limbo of young adulthood, my dad took whatever work he could get. One odd job had my dad shipping carpets from the Middle East to the United States. Eventually, my dad pursued loans for school, and it is here that he not only met my mother, but began to take advantage of the benefits of his Cuban refugee status. Who am I? The product of policy? Perhaps. The United States wanted to gain control of Cuba once more during the height of the Cold War, and it did so via a variety of means. One of these was a serious investment in the Cuban exile community. The Cold War gave over 300,000 Cuban refugees nearly everything for leaving the island. As a Cuban who entered the U.S. illegally between 1959 and 1994, the government would help you become a lawyer, an insurance adjuster, an abstract reader, a librarian, a social worker, a veterinarian, an optometrist, a dentist, a pharmacist, an accountant, but most importantly, they would help you become Cuban American. However, my family had moved away from the most powerful social networks of the Cuban community when they left to Los Angeles. And because of this, they never took advantage of the full set of benefits. They used the program to gain freedom of movement, and my father used it to learn a trade and get loan breaks, but not much else. Who am I? What if you couldn't go back? What if you couldn't talk to the right people? What if most of the photos you had meant nothing? What the Cold War really did was tear my family apart in such a way that we could not pick up the pieces. My grandmother would not have left had it not been for her husband. When she left behind everything. Some family rumors say it was forced. Some say it was pragmatism. Some say it was love. All I know is that she left, and that journey, that departure, is my only beginning. My family's history beyond that has come to me only in bits and pieces of fragmented information. Perhaps this story is a step in the right direction, but time does me no favors. Some migrations are one way.